My teenage daughter wants a costume I think is inappropriate. Hello everyone. My BFF told me I should ask about this here. I'm too embarrassed to ask anyone else I know. As the title says, my 13-year daughter has asked me if I could buy her a latex costume based on one of her favorite anime characters. She and her friends have been really getting into cosplay ever since the lockdowns and are now doing it on TikTok. She has over a dozen costumes now, and wears them a lot at home. Most of them are very cute and fun, but there are a couple I have second thoughts about getting her. On her birthday this year I broke down and bought her a red spandex costume from her favorite anime Evangelion, even though I really don't like the skin-tight costumes. Lately she has been asking for costumes I feel are a little too revealing, and has been getting more upset with every no. So here we are last Saturday. She shows me a costume just like the red one I got her in April, but it's shiny. I told her she already has the costume and I'm not buying it again. She says that it's different and better and more like the real thing. It's not real, it's a cartoon. That's when I saw it's a latex costume and said absolutely not. I have never seen her so mad. She started crying and telling me she's almost 14 and there's a 15-year girl on TikTok who does latex costumes. I don't know if that's true. And there's no reason she shouldn't get one. I tried to tell her that those costumes aren't appropriate for her age and she started yelling that I'm sexualizing the costume. She has been sulking all week and ignoring her homework. I really don't know what to do at this point. I looked more at these latex costumes, and I really don't like the idea of her having one. The one she wants doesn't show any skin above the neck, but they're very expensive and need special care. If I ever did buy it, there would be a lot of rules around it. She'd have to keep it in my closet, ask permission to wear it, clean it before and after every time she wears it, and it can never leave the house. So what do you think? Should I put my foot down for good, or am I just being a prude? Stand your ground. Your concerns are completely valid. She'll get over it eventually. The character she is referring to is Asuka Langley Soyu, and while they are a teen, she was definitely sexualized in the anime. There was even a scene in which the main character came on her while she was in a coma. You should stand your ground that it is inappropriate, and that you don't care what other teens do since they aren't your daughter. On a different note, I'd say children having TikTok shouldn't be allowed. As a teenager, keep saying no. I just turned 18, at 14 I was wearing very revealing outfits for attention, got myself into a lot of trouble. As much as it sucks, your kid is definitely old enough to understand wearing a latex costume as a 13-year-old isn't usually done. Men will be weird, she'll probably get made fun of, and it also can cause a lot of issues in the future with body image over-sexualizing herself because she got used to it. Not trying to assume anything. Just my personal experience as a teenager that grew up with TikTok. I have never seen her so mad. She started crying and telling me she's almost 14 and there's a 15-year girl on TikTok who does latex costumes. I don't know if that's true. And there's no reason she shouldn't get one. I tried to tell her that those costumes aren't appropriate for her age and she started yelling that I'm sexualizing the costume. She has been sulking all week and ignoring her homework. Yeah, that seems like a good enough reason by itself to say no. Are you paying attention to her social media in general? 'Cause this entire question is making me very worried. I tried to tell her that those costumes aren't appropriate for her age and she started yelling that I'm sexualizing the costume. Explain to her that the issue is that other people do too. She needs to learn that no means no. She doesn't understand it now, but she will when she's older. She'll get over it. Teenagers can be so dramatic. If it's another Evangelion character costume you're referring to, you can offer to get the counterpart outfit in Evangelion. They have these blue dress-like outfits which aren't revealing at all. I have one and I can send you photos of mine if you want to see what it looks like. I cosplay too, and I really wanted to dress as Rei from Evangelion, but I didn't want to wear the latex suit. Tell her to save up money and buy them herself, that it's not cheap at all. And that she has to learn to value money before bashing you, since it's you who have to work and keep food at the table. And I know exactly which dress you mean, and I would also say a fat no to a 14-year-old W latex like that. It looks like SMTH in BDSM. You should sit down with her and talk about all the people on earth and how she needs to know what's appropriate. She can buy it when she's 18. She already has one. She needs to save her own money to buy a different costume. Why should you care what other kids are doing on TikTok? This isn't an actual argument. Stand your ground. She'll live. I wouldn't let my 13-year-old wear that, nor would I let her upload videos of herself to TikTok. Tell her no, and stick to it. You are her parent, not her friend. Info: have you actually sat down and watched Evangelion with her? Which version? It's a show that deals with very adult themes at times, and maybe she's getting what she thinks are mixed messages from you. You're permissive in some ways but not in others, and she doesn't seem to get that. You seem confused about it, and I wonder if you know the background behind the costume, beyond just that it's not something you think is appropriate. I'm all for freedom of expression, but I've seen that anime and no. An emphatic no. Have a real conversation with her. Understand that while you're justified in disliking those things, it might push her to hide stuff from you. She needs to know and understand your concern from adult to adult, even though she's a teen. Tell her you have no issue with the costume itself, you have issues with people at the conventions who will be looking at her and just seeing a young girl in a tight bodysuit, and you don't vibe with it. Alternatively, accompany her and keep her safe from creepos at the convention. It eases your fears and lets her have fun. I wish my mom had been into the stuff I was in my cosplay days. The way people sexualize Asuka over at our Evangelion, knowing damn well she's 14, is reason enough to stand your ground. Besides the creepy fans, the anime itself is highly recommended. You are the parent and have to be the one to set boundaries. If she can't respect your boundaries, you can literally put her in timeout. No TikTok, no costumes, no nothing. She can earn those things back, but she has to meet whatever conditions you set. Teenagers, almost universally, have periods of suckiness. I raised 3. There are times I wanted to pull my hair out. Just make sure the punishment fits the crime. Yeah, not appropriate. Yikes. Is it the Evangelion costume? I think you're in the right. Keep saying no. She is 13, not 18. You're the parent. Say no. You're not wrong. I wouldn't let my daughter wear such clothing, let alone use TikTok. It's filled with pedophiles. If she wants to cosplay that character, she could also go the yellow dress route. The character has multiple looks, and some of them are age appropriate for your kid. If she wants another Asuka costume, then Terry's always her everyday attire. I'm 17 and I tried to get a red latex bunny suit for a cosplay from a show I definitely shouldn't have been watching at 13. My dad said abso-fucking-lutely not. I got over it and I'm glad he didn't let me now. She'll get over it. 13-year-olds don't have much common sense. This stuff. My go-to for my daughter is I would love if society allowed everyone to be naked if they wanted, but unfortunately our society has placed a target, bullseye, on you simply because you are a female. The target is always there, but there is no reason to make it light up and flash and 10x more obvious. Once I put it that way, she seems to understand a lot better. We still bicker occasionally, but it has become far better. Sending you hugs, mama. Stand teens is hard. Tell your daughter that crying, yelling and sulking is not a good way to convince you of her maturity.